Γεια σας παιδιά, welcome back to my cuisina or our cuisina over here with Maraki TV. Guys, today we are doing a beautiful dessert that all of us know. Everyone's mum, Thea, grandmother makes the best one. We're going to show you one that you are going to absolutely love as well. A mouth-watering baklava. All you need as far as ingredients go, παιδιά, is we need about 1 kilo of sugar, some filo pastry, some unsalted butter, ground almonds, amygdala, a bit of breadcrumb.
Cinnamon, some ground cloves, and 2 lemons.
To start off, we use unsalted butter. One thing that's going to add a lot of extra flavor to your baklava dish or any dessert dish that you do is if you clarify your butter. But you put it in, you bring it to a boil, then you must lower the temperature down so it simmers for a period of time, because what we want to do is separate the milk solids, because there's milk, water components in the butter. We want to separate those. The water's going to evaporate, and then what happens, instead of having a bright yellow butter when you just melt it, it ends up being a beautiful dark golden color, which gives it a magnificent flavor. We are now going to prepare the syrup. 1 liter of water, 1 kilo of sugar. We want to flavor it. Animal, we're going to put a few cloves, so just a pinch of cloves. Then we've got to put a couple of cinnamon sticks or cinnamon quills. And then we want to add a bit of lemon and put the lemon in there as well. We put it on the heat, bring it up to a boil, lower it so it's simmering for about, I'd say this size, for probably about 15 minutes. Switch it off and let it come to room temperature. Your syrup's ready. Butter's on, syrup is on. Now we make our mix for the baklava. Now some people use ground like real meal, which is very fine, almost like a flour. My recommendation is don't do that, because it's going to make your baklava like a brick. So a variation of pieces, that is good because that's rustic, it gives it texture. It makes you feel like you're eating one that your yum made. Put about 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumb, some ground cinnamon and ground cloves. We mix that together. Animal, go for it. The butter is ready. I'm going to show you this color right now. The sugar syrup has come to a boil. I'm turning it down now. I've got Anna holding the plate here so I can show you guys the contrast, the difference in color. Look at the golden color that is. One thing I want to tell you about filo pastry. Once you're here and you've opened this packet and you expose it, being thin, it's going to dry up very quickly. So what you want to do is work with it very quickly. And then we get couple of layers of the filo pastry. So I've put a couple this side now. Now I'm going to put another couple over this side.
Papa,
Yeah.
how many layers of filo do you put?
We generally put 2 on each side, as in 2 across that way, this way, and that way. It gives it a good base on the bottom. I'm going to give it another filo in the bottom just to add an extra one. Now that we've got that, we're going to start layering. So what we want to do is probably put a good 4 layers of filo in between each layer of almond or walnut or whatever it is you use. I've put the sheets on the side. I've done a few layers. This is my last layer of baklava as far as filo goes. And the reason I put 4 layers of filo pastry in each layer is because then when you cut it, you have a contrast in between each layer, so it looks really, really good. Now what we do, Animal, is we go another few layers. So what we do is put these over. Put a touch of butter. I fold it over and I bring it over so it's like a tight package. Then to finish it off, I go over here corner to corner. That way I only need to cut this and that end. I don't need to cut 4 ends of the filo pastry. Finish it off buttering. Animal, yes. We need to preheat that oven. So if you want to put the oven on for me, all right? And then we put it at about 175 degrees. If you've got it at 175 degrees, for a tray of baklava like this, you can be guided by color, making sure that it's cooked nice golden brown evenly. It'll take around 45 to 50 minutes. Now I carefully cut the edges out of here. So if you notice, I'm cutting the baklava half and half, so it ends up being 4 across lengthways. Then I turn it and I cut thirds this way, so into thirds. Then what we do is we cut triangles. To finish it off, we put some of these cloves, and what we do is put it down. This acts as not only a decoration, but if you've got a fan-forced oven, it prevents filo from going flying everywhere. Now, oven time, 175 degrees, it's preheated. We put it in for about 45 minutes. It'll come out golden, and then we add the soropi. Okay, baklava is ready to rock, about to come out of the oven. I'm going to grab the soropi that we did a little bit earlier, and now it's cooled down.
Oh, look at that color.
Perfect. As you can see, the color. Look at the color. Not only do we look at the golden brown on the top, but in the cuts where we've done in the creases, you want to see a bit of a darkness so that you're not deceived thinking it's all cooked on the top. That gives you an idea that it's ready on the inside. Hot baklava out of the oven and
Cold, syrupy.
now what we want to do is take it so that it's to the point of being right on the top of the baklava, and when it is, then you let it sit for a few minutes. That's going to absorb it, because don't forget this syrup is going to go in amongst that. One thing that we can tell you as well that we do at home, baklava, because of the sugar content in the syrup, the best way to store your baklava, don't put it in the fridge. In the fridge it goes matte, it goes soft, the filler pastry, so the shine goes. Once it's come to room temperature, cut it up, put it in airtight containers, put it straight in your freezer. In your freezer, you can take a piece out, take a bite, and it's just the most refreshing baklava ever, because it will not freeze solid. It will just go really, really cold, and the filler pastry and everything will stay crisp. So guys, enjoy your baklava like we are. Adekalioriksi.